A very good morning to all, and welcome to the Reviewing Research 2021. I'm Upaka Rathnayake from Department of Civil Engineering, and here to showcase some of the research work that we have done in year 2021. Well, 21 was a challenging year. However, we were able to achieve our goals in research in 2021. So we, as a group, we are kind of happy about our performance in 2021. So let me first introduce my group members to you. Yeah. Now, you may probably know some of the people who are here. And these are working with me, and I was starting from Mioru, Hasindu, say Imia, then we have Charuni, then we have Udara, Jayanga, Randika, Janani, Helani, Chamat, Shalinda, Asanka, Chamaka, and Anushka. So these are, some of them are working as volunteer researchers with me, and also some others are working with me as part-time research assistants under the research grants from the slate itself. So they are working under me as the as having the principal investigator for water resources and climate group in the slate. So now we were able to bring up some publications as a group, and before that, let me try to showcase you our collaboration with the Sri Lankan institutions. So we are closely working with University of Peradeniya, University of Ruhuna, Sabaragamu University of Sri Lanka, Wamba University of Sri Lanka, and University of Kelaniya. So our collaborative work has led to achieve some publications in index journals. Then let me showcase the collaboration which I'm having with the international institutions. You can see the map here, starting from North Carolina Agricultural and Technical State University in the US, then University of West Indies, Trinidad and Tobago. Then we have Netherlands, IHE and Twente, then Norway, Oulu, Uzbekistan, India, Thailand, AIT in Thailand, Malaysia, Japan, Hokkaido and Kochi, Australia, obviously Curtin University, Australia, then University of South Pacific in Fiji Islands, and finally, the Wellington Institute of Technology in New Zealand. So we are, my group is collaboratively working with these international institutions for some of the identified research work, and the members that I have shown in the local context, they are, some of them are working with these institutions. Now, let me come up with the work that we have done from the research work in 2021. Well, we were able to bring 10 index journals in 2021, and you can read them. So 3 of them were in mathematical problems in engineering, and out of that, some collaborative work with like the universities like University of and the Wamba University of Sri Lanka and so on. Then out of these 10 index journals, we were able to come up with 3 publications in top 25% journals, and also we were able to come up with 1 particular journal in top 5% journal. So that was a collaborative work with the University of Kebang, Malaysia. Then during 2021, we didn't really look into the conferences. In fact, we were eyeing on the index Scopus and SCI index journals. However, we had one publication in non-indexed journals, that is in the local context, which is about Timbirigay. We were able to develop a physical model and do some research work on that Timbirigay. And we were able to publish that one in Trisangyuja in University of Kelaniya. So those work, were from, some of them are from collaborative work, and also the group that I have shown you earlier, they actively engage in these research papers. Now, let me take one of the research work and showcase you what we have done in 2021. So this is about a paper which we have done for Journal of Advances in Civil Engineering, and which is under review. We received minor revisions, and we are at the moment we are trying to do those revisions. So it's about the impact of climate change on tourism in urban and beach destinations of Sri Lanka. Now, we all know that climate change is happening. And even IPCC, they consecutive in 2 years, they stated that Sri Lanka is one of the most affected countries from the climate change. Well, our group, we did some research about impact of climate change on, rainfall, temperature, and also the agricultural activities and so on. However, no one has really interested on looking at the climate change on tourism. Now, we wanted to look at that one because after the civil war in Sri Lanka, in 2009, we realized that Sri Lanka has a tourism boom, and we expect foreign income from tourism. Therefore, it would be better to know climate change impacts for the tourism for forecasted like future years. So what we have done, we assessed it for beaches all around the country. We know we have sandy beaches, fantastic beaches all around the country. So we wanted to look at sandy beaches all around the country. And the tourists are not only interested on beaches in Sri Lanka. In fact, they are looking at some urbanized areas, including Anuradhapura, Polonnaruwa, Nuwara, Kandy, and also Colombo, obviously. So we analyze another cluster as urban areas. To do this particular analysis, we required some data. Data like the climatic data. We purchased the ground measured climate data from Department of Meteorology and Sri Lanka from 2010 to 2018 for most of the parts of the country. And also we extracted the futuristic climatic data under two climatic scenarios called RCP 4.5, RCP 8.5 from Swedish Meteorological and Hydrological Institute. Now, you can see the analyzed areas in this figure as well. With that, we carried our analysis to recent past, that is from 2010 to 2018, what has happened, and to understand the model itself. So it's like a calibration, validation, and a calibration of the model. So then we analyze our model for future, that is to near future, and that is from 2021 to 2050, and far future, 2071 to 2100. Now, to do this, we need climatic data for future years. So we, as I said earlier, we extracted them from the climate models like Swedish model. However, we can't simply use that those data to analysis, because there are some bias. So we need to correct those bias. So we use the observed climatic data to correct those bias. And let me take the pointer probably for you. That would give a good idea. So so we basically use these equations for the bias corrections. Then we calculated the HCI calculations, that is the holiday climate index, and that index gives us the impact of climate change on each and every locations. So these are the equations which we have used to calculate the holiday climate index. Yeah, you know, they probably look a bit complex. However, if someone is interested, we can have discussions, you know, later and to understand these equations. Now, we from these statistics, we realize that Sri Lanka is having a peak tourist income or tourist you know, arrivals in the month of December. So and we have the lowest recorded in May and June. These are the government published statistics from 2010 to 2018. So we kind of use that to validate our model as well. Okay. Now let us showcase. Let me showcase some results of our research work. Now, if we look at these the left hand side, those are the holiday climate index, or the spatial distribution of holiday climate index for the beaches all around the country. Now, that is for the you know, recent past from 2010 to 2018. And now the legend says that, you know, when you have the greenish color, so that is like ideal for tourists and tourism. And when we have the, you know, reddish color, it says we are kind of in dangerous situation or unacceptable situation of climate for the tourism. So if we closely look at the beaches, we can see that, you know, most of the eastern and northern part during the first intermonsoon and southwestern monsoon, they are rather fine. However, if we look at the second intermonsoon for the beaches, we can see that the western area and the southern area is slightly giving us some unacceptable, you know, the climate conditions for the tourism. Now, without, you know, similarly, we look at the holiday climate index, the spatial variation for the urbanized areas, that is across the whole country. We can see some green patches, that is somewhere around, you know, Nuwara and so on. So we can see good green patches. However, if we look at the second intermonsoon, that we can understand that, you know, it's somewhat difficult. Now, with those results, we wanted to match, we wanted to look at the forecasted maps. So forecasted maps were you know, developed in two scenarios, as I said, RCP 4.5 and RCP 8.5 for near future as well as the far future. So you can see that around the beaches, you know, second intermonsoon is kind of interested, having some interested results, which are unfavorable for the tourism. However, when we look at the urban case, you know, the second intermonsoon has some severe results. Now, let me try to summarize and conclude our research work. So as we said, we developed the impact of climate change on tourism based on the holiday climate index. Now, the results from 2010 to 2018 conclude that there is a good relationship between the climate and tourist arrivals. So months of May and June, where we have the lowest tourist arrivals, have, you know, lower HCI values. In contrast, higher HCI values were found in the month of December. So with that, we can say that we have kind of validate our model. So the projected maps can be clearly, you know, when it is published, delivered to the stakeholders. Now, let me conclude my our work with some successful stories, like Muru Gunatilaka, who is working still working with me, was able to publish 10 index journal papers, and he was awarded full scholarship for pursuing his PhD in Norway. Then Anushka Pereira again published 10 index journal papers. He was awarded MSc and Masters and PhD scholarship from New Mexico State University. Jayanga Samarasinghe, he was awarded full scholarship for Masters and PhD at Texas Tech. And Chamaka, who is a product of Slate, again awarded the tuition scholarship from AIT. Then as the principal investigator, I was invited to be the guest editor for one of the special issues in Advances in Civil Engineering, then invited lead editor for another special issue in Advances in Meteorology. Finally, I was invited to be the regular editor for Applied Computational Intelligence and Soft Computing, which is a top 13% Scopus Index journal. Now, let me finalize the things with plans for 2022. We have a lot of activities. We have planned a lot of activities, new dimensions in image processing and so on. So, with river meandering and so on. Okay, guys, that's all for me to, showcase for research work and reviewing research. And thank you very much.